Good afternoon, boys and girls. Today, for our community lesson, we are going to be talking about some common characteristics that communities have. Some communities have things some communities have things in common, and they also have some things that are different. So we could compare Brooklyn to Jackson, because that is two communities that we've probably been to both. Some things that Brooklyn has that Jackson has. Let's think. What are some things that Brooklyn has that Jackson also has? So we talked about how in a community, remember those three big things, that a community is where people live, work, and play or go to school. It helps keep people safe, and it helps meet the basic needs of people. So for meeting basic needs, Brooklyn has a grocery store, Country Market, right? There's some other stores in Brooklyn that you could probably get a couple of groceries. I know lots of people hit up Wesco for some milk and some hot dogs and some hot dog buns. But Wesco's not a grocery store. Brooklyn has one grocery store, which is Country Market. Now, if we think about Jackson, how many grocery stores does Jackson have? I can't even tell you how many Country Markets Jackson has. I'm not sure. I know that there's at least two, but I don't go to the Country Markets in Jackson very often. So I know that there's at least two, but I think that there might be more as well. But there's also two Meijers. So that's 4 grocery stores. Plus there's Aldi's. There's Save-A-Lot. There's Sam's. That's a type of grocery store for sure. There's Gordon's. I've already lost count of how many grocery stores we just listed. So Jackson is larger than Brooklyn, right? So size-wise, one is smaller, one is larger, but a similarity is that they both have grocery stores. The difference is that Brooklyn is smaller. Brooklyn has one grocery store. Jackson is larger. It has many grocery stores. Brooklyn doesn't have a hospital, but it does have a doctor's office. Jackson has many doctor's offices, but it also has a hospital. So if you live in Brooklyn, but you really need a hospital, you can't go anywhere in Brooklyn to make it to a hospital, but you do have to go to Jackson. Being where we are in Brooklyn, Jackson and Chelsea are about the same distance away. So maybe you could choose. I know a lot of people that go to the hospital in Chelsea too. There's schools. There's a couple of schools in Brooklyn. We have the elementary school, the upper elementary school, the high school, middle school is one building. There's lots of daycares around. There's probably a few preschools, I'm not sure. But it's all one district. It's all Columbia schools, right? Not the preschools or the daycares. But the lower elementary, the upper elementary, and then the high school and the middle school, those are all Columbia schools. I don't know why I keep saying the high school before the middle school. You go to middle school before you go to high school. Anyways, in Jackson, there's JPS. And I think JPS does include like Parkside and Hunt, and so they're all an umbrella like Columbia, but there's lots of different schools in Jackson too. There's Parkside, there's Hunt, I don't even know, there's Jackson High. There's so many. I don't know that much about Jackson. I've lived here my whole life. I never traveled to Jackson. So anyways, we're going to talk about things that are similar and different with communities, but we need to jot a quick note down about the different types of resources. So we're going to be looking, I'm frozen here. This is not going to work. Oh goodness. Yes. Hold on one second. Serious, concentrated face that it was stuck on was gorgeous, huh? Just kidding. All right, so we do need to take a quick note, okay? We are going to be talking about resources that are found inside the communities, and there are two types of resources. There is human resources, and there are natural resources. And this is going to be important, so we're going to write it down. It's not really going to fit on the notebook page with our paper that we need, but that's okay. We're just going to need to use a notebook piece of paper to write this down because it is important. So we are writing a note down of what human resource is. Human, squirrel brain for a moment. Human resources. Okay? Some human resources are things that humans made. They were real unique with naming it. I don't know. So, some things that humans have made in the community are the buildings. All sorts of different kinds of buildings. They look different, but all the buildings are human-made. I don't even know how to say this. Like, buildings just weren't there. They had to be made somehow. Businesses are human-made. Okay? So buildings, businesses, and transportation. It doesn't just rain down cars and trains. Transportation and buses. People had to make them. Okay? Maybe we might stumble across one in Finders Keepers. I don't know. Don't listen to me. Never mind. They don't just rain down from the sky though. Someone had to make them, okay? And they require humans to continue going. The other type of resource is a natural resource. A natural resource is the opposite of human resource. It is what we just find. It's just here. And it happens naturally. No one made it. It's just how it is. So those are going to be like our landforms, our landscapes. So landform. On our landform, we might have hills. We might have lakes or rivers. Some lakes are human-made. Like Lake Columbia. I don't know about the other ones, but I know Lake Columbia was human-made. Not all lakes are natural resources. Not all lakes are natural. Anyway. Hills. We already got hills. And desert. I don't think we have any deserts around here. Sometimes in the summer it might feel like a desert. But let me just tell you, after going to New Mexico. Yeah. Nope. It's really hot there. Like, we got out of the car and I thought the liquid in my eye evaporated within a second. So hot. Okay, side note. We're going to do this page, characteristics of a community, but first we're going to listen to a song. Let me pull the song back up. Here we go.
Sing a Song of People by Lois Linsky, illustrated by Giles LaRoche and read by Angie Carpenter. Sing a song of people, walking fast or slow. People in the city, up and down they go. People on the sidewalk. People on the bus. People passing, in back and front of us. People on the subway, underneath the ground. People riding taxis round and round and round. People with their hats on, going in the doors. People with umbrellas when it rains and pours. People in tall buildings. and in stores below. Riding in elevators, up and down they go. People walking singly, people in a crowd. People saying nothing, people talking loud. People laughing, smiling. Grumpy people too. People who just hurry and never look at you. Sing a song of people who like to come and go. Sing of city people. You see, but never know.
All right. Cancel. How do I? Okay. So we are back to characteristics of a community. So we're going to write some examples of each characteristic that is found in communities. You can trim around the edge of this page so that way it fits a little bit neater in your notebook. The first one is natural resources. So remember, a natural resource is something that is naturally found. No one has to make it. It's just already there. What are some natural resources that you can think of that are around our town? All right. Some natural resources that we have here. We have lakes. Okay. We have some lakes. We have some rivers. We have a river right by the school. We have hills. I guess I need to narrow. Well, I don't need to narrow them. I was thinking of Cascades as hills. If you have this in your community, we can think of all over. These can be possibilities. Just know, more so, this isn't what is in our community, but what the different types of resources are. But we do want to think of ones that are around here. So if it's in Brooklyn, if it's in Jackson, if it's in Vandercook or Napoleon, that's okay. It's close. Okay. Sometimes we have forests. We have small forests. Okay. There might be larger ones somewhere that I'm not aware of. Hills. I think that's all I can think of for that. For businesses, we have restaurants. We have some restaurants. We have some stores, whether that be grocery stores or food stores, like what did I say? Grocery stores or clothing stores. I don't know what I'm talking about. We also have offices. We have doctor's offices, dentist offices. If you go to Jackson, there's all sorts of different kinds of offices there. For buildings, there are small buildings, there are tall buildings, there are single-story buildings. I'm writing quickly. You can pause the video, though. There's single-story buildings. There are multi-story buildings. And a story is just another word for a floor. So a single-story building is a building that only has one floor. So like our school is a single-story building. There's no basement. There's no upstairs. It's just one story. But a multi-story building might be like, well, the one that I can think of is the courthouse. You can go upstairs or downstairs in the courthouse that has multiple floors. I'm almost out of time with this video, so I'm going to pause here. We'll come back and I'll do transportation and places to have fun with you.